Welcome back to another video, and welcome back to a video on this BMW 116 diesel. Now, for those of you who watched the previous videos, you'll know that we had the engine rebuilt due to a timing chain failure, and a company in Aylesbury called Aylesbury Engines, they did the rebuild. Now, unfortunately, after about 3.5 months, the car came to a grinding halt, and it was a crank no start situation. We've got the car towed back by the AA and started looking at different things as to what could be causing it. Now, I did contact Hales Owen and explained the situation to them, and because it's coming up as a low fuel pressure, a company called Joe Derby Cars, who are a BMW specialist, when Hales Owen had rebuilt the engine, there was problems with it starting, so Joe Derby had the car and got the car working. I think it was a fuel rail issue that was apparent at the time, but now the car doesn't start. So let me show you exactly what's going on. Turn the ignition on, and I can hear the pumps engaging. Let's crank it. We've got no chance of that starting at the moment. So I'll tell you what we've been doing to find out what the fault is so far. We redone the scan on our scanner, and it came up just like the AA said, low fuel pressure. We also had a couple of other minor faults come up, so we changed the fuel rail sensor, that didn't work. Changed the high pressure fuel pump relay, took the battery off, recharged all the battery, and hey presto, for some reason the car started. A bit of a scratch your head sort of situation, because we haven't actually found out what's caused the problem. It's just started. Drove it for about 4 days and the car just cut out, and we're back to square one, where the car cranks no start, and the fault that's coming up is low fuel pressure. So we checked the pump in the boot or under the seat, checked to see if there's fuel coming out of that, and there was. Checked the rail, there was no fuel coming up to the rail. So everyone's saying, oh, it must be the high pressure fuel pump has gone. Well, I'm not quite sure about that, because we got the car started and I cleared the codes, nothing came up, and 4 days later it all came back again. So yeah, if I had air I'd be pulling it out. It's a right pain in the arse. Now, Hales Owen have said, well, unless it's a mechanical fault, it's nothing to do with them. And Joe Derby, when I contacted them again, they said, okay, let's have it in and we'll get to the bottom and find out what's going on. Which is a great thumbs up to Joe Derby Cars. And that's happening today. So they're going to send a truck to pick the car up and take it. Now, I've just been on the phone to them, because I actually got the car started again today, and I'll show you. It's fired up just like as before. Fires up. I'm just going to turn it off. Now, I explained to Joe Derby Cars that the car's working, but we've still got faults coming up, and the biggest fault that we got coming up at the moment is a continuous battery drain or battery discharge. So when I put the computer into the ECU, came up and it says there's a fault somewhere along the line, in that the car is, I don't know, maybe not even been recognising the battery because it's a new battery. That might be something for them to look at. But I cannot risk driving the car and being stuck at the front of lights again at 5 o'clock in the evening in the freezing cold, and I can't risk my wife being in that position. So Joe Darby has said, let's take it in. He's going to check everything over, find out what's going on, and hopefully we'll finally get this car fixed the way it should be. Now, it'll be interesting to see what Joe Darby can find. I don't think it's a fuel pump issue because the car wouldn't have started otherwise. There's got to be something in the electrics. Maybe the alternator's not working correctly. There is a F or 30F code module come up. Don't know whether that. I'm not an electrician, I'm not a mechanic. I just fiddle about with them and I managed to get the car started through sheer determination. But it's not right because it still broke down. So that's where we are at the moment with this car. It's going to be taken on the low loader to Joe Darby Cars, and they're going to hopefully come to a conclusion and fix this once and for all. So hopefully in the next video I'll be able to tell you everything's running fine and perfect, and tell you exactly what the fault of this car was. So until the next video, thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. Any comments will be grateful. You might know a few things about what's going on and might be able to enlighten us, and you might have the same problem. I think it's nice that if we do find, well, we will find exactly what the problem is and what's caused it, and this platform, this YouTube platform, hopefully will help somebody else solve their problem if they're having a similar one. So again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.